Okie dokes. So, purpose of this video is I'm going to talk about our Premier League, and I'm going to also talk about the European Super League, which has raised its head again. Now, here's the thing, right? Years and years ago, when it first appeared, the top teams in Europe wanted to invite a number of teams from the Premier League, and that was 6. That would have meant, if it had went through, 6 teams would have left a gaping hole. Now, like the wind, we can't stop this new European League forming. Why? Money. Money talks, and the old saying is bull and something else walks. So here's my thought on it. And it is just a thought, nothing more. Now, I wrote this down. The European Super League. 6 teams. The top 6. Who wish to form a golden new league. Now, back in the time when they were on about doing this, they said it was going to be a closed shop. They've really changed that. So, there's now going to be relegation. Now, here's the thing. Because they've revamped it to include relegation, here's my thought. If they want to run off to the European Super League, let them go. Yeah. Hard as it may seem, let them go. Now, one thing you can't do is this. It's totally and utterly impossible. You can't take a stadium in England and then move that stadium abroad. You can't do it. It's impossible. So, here's the thing. All those teams who wish or who are invited to go and join the European Super League, on your bike, with one strict warning. And this is very strict. It is this. You can go across and you can play in this European Super League. You can go and win all of these trophies, what are going to be on offer. However, if the time comes that you as a club are relegated, then when you come back to the United Kingdom to play a football, you go to play a football in the Conference League, the lowest league in the United Kingdom. And you have to, because you are adamant you wanted to leave to play in the European Super League. You are adamant that you wanted to do that. You then forfeit any right to the Championship, League 1, League 2. You go straight to the bottom and you work season upon season to climb back to the Premier League. That's your punishment. Now, to the Premier League, who have 6 teams missing. Well, we would need to reform the Premier League, a one-off event, i.e. you want to go and join the European Super League, go and do it. And what that would mean is, instead of 3 teams from the Championship being promoted, there would be 6 teams promoted. A one-off event. And because I believe in 20 clubs in our Premier League, I believe this: maximum spend over 3 years. In other words, your maximum spend on your players who you are going to recruit, and basically the Premier League's current is £105 million loss. So let's revamp that to 500 million. Now, this is going to sound crazy, and you probably think it is crazy. 500 million over 3 years on acquiring new talent for your football club. A sponsorship deal cap, so if it is fair for the whole 20 clubs. And that would be 150 million per deal. So if you go out and you get a sponsor, and that sponsor is willing to give you 150 million, you can bank it. Now, part of that 150 million, a portion of it, is going to be put to one side. I'll come to that in a minute. Now, 20 clubs, and if you can rise to the higher clubs in your stadium capacity, because some clubs don't have the high numbers that other clubs do. Newcastle's current gate attendance is 52,000. So with 6 clubs vacating their position, that might be the benchmark for other clubs. Bournemouth, Brighton, and Fulham and Brentford. So it may be for them that they could increase their capacity to as close to 52,000 as humanly possible. Now, as I mentioned, part of the deal would be to feed the lower leagues, i.e. the Championship, from the Championship all the way down through every league, including those lads and lasses who go out on a Sunday to play football. Now, here's another bit. Clubs allowed to show games if they have their own in-house film company. Because, here's the thing, St James's Park only allows currently 52,300, and we know for a fact that more people want to be able to view the football on a match day. So, venues like the one which is on the crossroads of Westgate and Clayton Street. It used to be a bingo many years ago because my brother worked there. And there's one venue. Another venue which is large is the Labour Club on the way to St James's Park. And there are the likes of what they call it? City Hall, another place, big venue. All of these can be utilised at £15 a ticket. And what you would get is you get like a little wristband, and that wristband is for the game that you are attending. Reason why is this. If you decide to go and get some drinks, go to the toilet, etc., and a lot of people may decide, because they're not at St James's Park, maybe they'll go up and have a quick tab. This band gets you back in. It is scanned again and you come back in. Now, the percentage of the ticket sale of the £15 again would go down the pyramid to grassroots football. And what it would be is, with each club around the country, is you'd have your stadium capacity and you'd have your extra venue capacity showing the match in live, and that would go towards your viewing figures for the week of a match day. What's this one? Yeah. Very contentious subject, this one. VAR camera system, which has robbed many of our club of points. And it would be the whole pitch arena. High definition cameras, and they would form a grid across the whole pitch, as well as a camera way up high, which is roughly about 40 feet from the deck, so it can't be interfered with the ball. And basically decisions made in 1 minute. Now, penalty box cameras as well. And when I was writing this down, I was thinking about it. The referees mic'd, little camera here, and basically the same as what they do in rugby. Now, with the referees, what I'm thinking is also training for 19 to 25-year-old people, male and female. And they being the referee, your linesman, and those who are sitting in that little room and the decision is 1 minute. What I don't want to see anymore is where they're turning round and saying on the Monday after a weekend there was faults in the game. I want those faults dealt with within 1 hour after any game. And if there has been serious faults and serious errors, well, those officials 6-match ban to teach them, so that when they come out onto the field of play, that this is the real deal. Sky camera, ultra high definition, every stadium to follow the action and all of the images sent to an official room, same as what it is today. But one thing I do want to see is this. I want to see the quality of the picture that people view at home increased dramatically. Now, these are just my opinions for our club and our Premier League. And one thing I was also thinking was it may take 2, 3 or 4 years once the smart contracts are done and dusted. But one thing I would like to see is brand new cameras introduced into football, and those cameras to show the pictures from the pitch, from the stadiums, in the highest quality imaginable. And hopefully I get me way. And the thing is, at the end of the day, with the European Super League, going back to that, we can't stop it. You can't stop big money. It's physically impossible. So, to those teams who wish to play on the greener grass, just remember, if you do get relegated, you're going back down to the conference and you are going to build the trust again to come back to the Premier League. And one thing I would say is, when I mentioned about the sponsorship deals, if a club, any club, can bring in sponsorship deals, not 1, not 2, not 3, maybe 5, each deal is capped. So you can't turn around and say you want more money, because the deals and the capping of those deals, there's a percentage taken off each, and that is sent down to the lower leagues. And one other point before I close down this video. Young players who are signed by clubs, who get the chance, the opportunity to play on the pitch with the rest of the team in the Premier League. If those players aren't good enough, the club, instead of casting those players to one side and trying to find them another club, make sure that those players are looked after. They're human beings at the end of the day. I speak about young Matty Longstaff, the brother of Sean, who went to different places and it just didn't work out. Players of any team who are young, there should be somebody at each club who is going to be looking after them. There's all this money in football. Let's use the money in the right way. Look after players. Because some players, and not all of them, but some players can get horrific injuries where it ends their career. And they're just left to do what they can. Nobody cares. It's about time we did. Now, one thing I'm hoping for with Newcastle United is this. Before the new season, in the second week of August, I'm hoping, I'm praying that the club tell the fans what's going to happen to St James's Park. Don't keep it a secret. You know? Tell the fans. In the Chronicle. On radio. In the North East. Tell the fans what's going to happen. Because without the fans, our club is nothing. And that's the honest truth. You know, when COVID struck, the players didn't want to go out on the pitch. But they had to do what the Premier League had set out, even though there was nobody in the stadiums. A horrible situation. So that's what I want to see. And hopefully, at some point, something I've created, hopefully, will be able to show everybody bloody good content. And I'll tell you this much. Years and years ago, it was $9.99. Then $14.99. Then it climbed again. With what I'm trying to do, there is one price. And that price is affordable. Because that is how you gain adoption. Being affordable. It's no good having a £20,000 television set sitting in a shop showing a nice picture if nobody's buying it. And if you look at all of the warehouses up and down the country where all these TVs are stacked up waiting for Black Friday, it's wrong, man. Things have to change. Now, that's the end of what I'm saying on this. There's another one coming straight up after it. And this one's about Newcastle United because I just watched Adam Pearson. So, to all of you wonderful people out there, thanks for tuning in. What you've just seen is just my opinion. That's it. One Geordie lad. I hope you like what I've said. I hope you agree what I've said. Some of you may not, but I've said it anyway. Thanks for watching.